alter your personal standards.
All right, guys. Whew. So, yeah. Going along with the Marvel theme here, let's go to our next video. Now, one of these things like that always fucking just puzzles the shit out of me is you see these motherfuckers like harp on Brie Larson. I don't get it. It's just one of those things where it's just like, I understand she said some offhand comments about, hey, not every story needs to be focused around young white guys, which is ironic because most of the classic stories that we know of aren't. Like, look at the Odyssey, look at the Iliad. They, first of all, they weren't white. They were Middle Eastern or Mediterranean. Or you see some of the great stories in this. It wasn't until this whole like, who is it, Silvermane, or like this great white savior from that's going into ancient societies, that most of the stories were revolved around. And I don't get that shit. I don't get this whole thing about people being pissed off at Brie Larson for just some of the stupidest shit that, to a point where they make videos about her. Hey, let's have cheery up videos. And this is some of the shit that kind of pisses me off because she plays a character in Marvel, which you should have more problems with the character that she plays in Marvel than her. But let's see.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about how you are going to like Ms. Marvel, whether you want to or not.
That's right.
They are going to force you to like Ms. Marvel. She is a relatively new character in the Marvel universe, and they brought her front and center in the new Avengers game, and they keep pushing her on cartoons. And
okay, so what? They do that shit with a lot of fucking characters. Kamala Khan is fucking... like, they're trying to push her because they're trying to fucking get a new fucking team of Avengers, the Young Avengers. You don't get what they're doing, right? They're not doing that because, hey, she's different. They're doing it because they want to fucking leech off the fucking popularity of Teen Titans or Young Justice. That's literally why they're doing it. Having legacy characters and new characters from those legacy characters and just try to push more books. That's it. But let's hear this shit. Let's hear this shit.
And yet her comic books keep getting canceled. But you're going to like her.
Right, like all women.
You're going to like her. You're going to like her because she's Sana Amanat's OC. Sana Amanat at Marvel. And, you better watch out Brie Larson because Ms. Marvel's coming.
Yeah, and you kept going on about how we needed more women and we needed more women, of color and things, and you were going to help them, come in. Well, great. Now they're coming in, and they might be coming for Carol Danvers, too. So,
Maybe.
They do know that Carol Danvers wasn't the first Captain Marvel. And she wasn't the only Captain Marvel afterwards. Like, they do know that Captain Marvel was actually was portrayed in the comic books by who is Rambeau's first name? Monica Rambeau, yes. Who also was a Captain Marvel, right? They do know this. Like, she goes by Pulsar or Spectrum now, but like, she was also Captain Marvel. The fuck? Let's continue.
Maybe she will replace Carol Danvers. Who knows? They are talking Ms. Marvel TV series for Disney Plus. Now, I got to tell you, before we get into this, Squeaking and I debated about whether or not we were. Man, she looks really creepy there.
But she is actually a popular character because she's so fucking counterculture to Carol Danvers. Like, I don't think that these motherfuckers really realize that how, like, yeah, it's hard to do a solo series. Like, the only people that haven't had their solo series canceled really that much is Spider-Man, is Batman, but Superman has had some of his series canceled. Like, it's not hard to see a series canceled. Like, Thor has had some of his series canceled. Fucking X-Men has had some of their series canceled. This isn't something that's new. Or, wow. You know, some of the same shit that they used to say about fucking Kamala Khan is some of the same shit they used to say about Miles Morales. Fuck, Miss Marvel had her series canceled constantly. Fuck, let's continue.
Debate about whether or not to get the Avengers game. And I don't know how her powers are going to work in live action because her giant fists look ridiculous when they're photorealistic.
Is that what her only power is?
Wait. She's somebody that can manipulate her size. That's almost elastic. Stretchy even. Rubbery. She literally is a size manipulator. Please tell me that they're going to talk about, how Mr. Fantastic looks weird and photorealistic. Or Elastic Man. Or Rubber Man. Like, please tell me that shit. Please tell me that they're going to go down that fucking path. Let's continue.
No, she's got some other powers. It's been years. I read the first trade paperback, the first couple issues. And I'll be honest, I actually thought the first story arc was pretty decent. I thought the art was good. I thought she was an interesting character. But since that time, they have gone out of their way to make sure that everybody knows who Ms. Marvel is. Her and Captain Marvel have to become a household name because I have to wonder if they're not going to flip the script and eventually be like, oh, the Marvel Universe was named after the Marvel ladies.
That's right.
All the ladies of Marvel. That's one.
Oh my God. They don't know. 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 All right, so, God, I'm doing more talking than gaming today. But let me just tell you this. The reason why Captain Marvel actually had the name Captain Marvel is because literally they were trying to get DC, because DC actually had with Fawcett, when they finally finished the shit with Fawcett, it would be an embarrassment to have one of the DC characters lay claim to Marvel's whole thing. It would have been embarrassing. Because this is when the comic books was doing, like, Sony and Xbox. They were just trying to, one-up each other. Like, fuck. Like, they don't fucking get it. And the reason why Marvel could actually keep his name, because he was a Kree captain. And so, when Marvel, who wasn't an interesting character at all, fucking finally died, he passed the shit on to Carol Danvers, who is literally a captain in the Air Force. And she took the name to, one, in real life, to keep the name Captain Marvel. And two, in order to motherfucking honor him in universe. But, yeah, fuck. They don't know.
They're in charge. And this is, definitely Sana Amanat's creation, Captain Marvel. And we've said before that my understanding is Sana Amanat actually calls the shots over at Marvel.
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't do anything. No, that's not what I'm hearing.
That is not what I've heard either. I've heard that she actually is pretty involved, or at least has the ear of the right people over there at Marvel, that this is part of the reason why they will not let Kamala Khan just kind of, succeed or fail, I guess, on her own. They're going to keep pushing her, despite the fact that her books have been canceled several times. The first one lasted 19 issues. First, Take It, Ms. Marvel. And then, she came back again. She had 38 issues. And then now she's up to 16 issues. 2019 to 2020, I guess. She was in an issue of Team Up. And, of course, they put her in cartoons. So
they keep canceling because they don't...
Wait. They're not going to mention that she was in the Young Avengers with Vision's daughter, and I fucking don't know. Fuck. Who is that guy? I know it's the Young Hulk. Fuck. The guy who, I forgot the stupid shit that he calls himself. But he's basically Young Hulk, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and who else is in there? Fuck. I forgot who's else. But they're literally the Young Avengers. That's it. That's who they are. They're the Young Avengers. But the bad part about it is you can only remember Miles Morales and fucking Kamala Khan from the Young Avengers. All the rest of them is just what powers they have, but you don't know their names. Viz, I think that's what it is. Viz is Vision's daughter. But let's continue.
Do well, but they won't let it die. You have to like this. We're going to make sure you like it because we're banking on it.
Pretty much. And that's what happens with Carol Danvers, too. They keep bringing her back, Captain Marvel back, and people just don't like the character, and they bring her back. She runs a year or two, and then they cancel again, and she's had more cancellations. I think Captain Marvel's had more cancellations than any other Marvel title recently.
So do they address the fact that if those are her hands, even if they get big, that they probably would still get things they still would be like skin, so you still get cut, you still get buildings stuck in a splinter?
I think they're invincible. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I read.
Wow, introducing real world physics into comics. Okay. Maybe this is a thing. I don't know.
Ms. Marvel. But in the game, it looks very strange to have a photorealistic girl have giant hands the size of small SUVs.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
But then again, other superpowers probably look really weird too. So
that is true. So I'm curious to see how they're going to handle this in live action. But yeah, they put her front and center in the new Avengers game.
Come on, man.
That is not getting. It's not really getting rave reviews.
Actually, you guys said about it, but then Squeaky looked at it and he's like, eh.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So you're talking about cultural inclusion in a video game. The reason why that's getting and you're supposed to be a gamer. You're supposed to care about this shit. Or you're supposed to care about pop culture. But nobody has mentioned that they tried to microtransaction this fucking game to death. That's the reason why. They tried to do a games as a service and cut fucking content for the goddamn of Marvel's Avengers. That's why it fucking failed, because they did a games as a service bullshit. And they forgot to add content because they were going to add content later on because games is a service. But nobody mentions is that. They think, because it's Ms. Marvel in the lead, and that's the problem. No, motherfuckers don't like games as a service. That's a thing. But let's continue.
Buy it. I was going to buy it. We're going to play it on the gaming channel. We do have a Clownfish TV gaming channel, by the way. I was going to play it on Clownfish TV gaming. He's
shameless plug.
Like, I have no interest in this game. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, again, it's like, we got to put her in with the Avengers to make sure that she...
Yeah, but she's like a fangirl. That's kind of part of her point, I guess, her charm. But she's like kind of annoying. I was like, why?
She is, I think, the audience stand-in, or let me put it to you this way. She is the intended audience, the audience that Sana Amanat wants to cultivate with all the weird cooking shows and fashion stuff.
The ones that don't get much hits.
Yeah, the video.
Really? Fucking really? I wonder why she's not the audience stand-in. I wonder why. Could it be something? Could she have a specific skin condition that she's not the audience stand-in? Is there a reason? Fuck, I need to get some coal. But let's continue.
videos on the Marvel YouTube channel that don't get much hits. She is the target audience, the fangirl. And I think that is part of the reason they kind of keep pushing her. Like, come on, girl power.
Wait, they're upset because Marvel is trying to diversify their fan base? Like, comic sales are going down because as many people that has bought it, these hardcore fans, as a lot of these motherfuckers think that they are, they're not big enough to sustain what Marvel was trying to sustain. I mean, like, fuck profits and, like, profits are stealing and, all that other good bullshit. But the reason why your thing may be good is because people like it. And the more people like it, the better it can actually be. Like, that's a thing. Like, do they think that only all the nerd culture is for them? Wait, what the fuck? Really? Is that what they think? Fuck. Let's continue.
Buy our stuff, girls. Buy our lifestyle brand. Buy our, whatever.
Well, that's not going to work for a couple reasons. One, her outfit's not tight enough for cosplayers, and they're going to want to take it and change it.
Wow. I don't want to fall back to, damn, you're a woman and you're just telling us that the only reason why people would like women characters is because of sexism, but it's just like, really? Fuck. Like, you are a fucking horrible person to literally say that. How? Oh my God, how?
In ways that wouldn't fit the character.
Yeah, that is true. So this is, you saw this on CBR today. And Marvel's Avengers, Kamala Khan is the beacon of hope we need in 2020.
I wouldn't have used the word beacon, because it comes across as, if you look at it quickly, you could read it as Kamala Khan is the beacon of hope we need, and that would not be appropriate.
Not only are they being just shit people talking about her heritage, like let's be honest, they're being shit people talking about her heritage, but the whole thing, like, why, dog? Just why? Why do you need to go there? Why? But let's continue.
That would not be appropriate.
But at first, when I saw the headline, that's what I thought it said. I was like, that doesn't, what? That's not okay. And then I'm like, oh, beacon.
Beacon.
Okay.
So in the Avengers, Kamala Khan approaches the world with a level of enthusiasm.
I'm not going to make the joke that a lot of these right-wingers can't read and doesn't have the patience to actually fucking read past the headline or read the headline accurately. Oh, wait, I just fucking did. Never mind.
And positivity that's rare to find in modern gaming. Yeah, like Last of Us 2.
Right, there's so much positivity.
That was a positive.
Well, as I said, it's rare to find such positivity, but it's like annoying positivity.
Yeah, she actually, it
was annoying in the commercial. I was like, oh, someone's gonna smack her.
Yeah. I think it was almost like what
I mean, like, this whole idea of being edgy and being hard and realistic, it's just like, okay, there are people who really are just cheery. They rub me the wrong way because I'm an asshole-ish person, but I'm not going to tell them that they can't be cheery or, like, these motherfuckers would like, they fanboy, and I guarantee you this. They would fanboy over some shit that they like. They would fanboy over Trump. Oh my God, God Emperor King Trump, who's trying to fucking steal the fucking election. Oh wow, God Emperor King Trump. Fuck out of here.
Spider-Man's tied up, so let's put Kamala Khan.
Yeah, it was. It was like level of Spider-Man, but I think Spider-Man wasn't even as annoying.
No. And Spider-Man for PS4 is...
But he could be.
He could be. Spider-Man PS4 is so far probably the best superhero game that's ever been made. Squid King wanted that on day one. We played that. It's awesome. Not so much for Avengers. So the newly released Avengers sees the iconic team reunited by a relatively new addition to Marvel's long history, Kamala Khan.
I bet they won't say the same thing about Miles Morales. Something about it. I don't think they will say the same thing about Miles Morales. Well, let's continue.
Also known as Ms. Marvel, who was only introduced in 2013.
So wait, so Salma Amina is her OC. It was introduced on her watch, and they actually named it Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, well, so Carol Danvers was the original Ms. Marvel, and then she got her ass
okay,
knocked into
never
a coma. Yeah, I do think that they are going to angle for the Marvel girls to be the reason it's the Marvel. I'm waiting for that because they already in Captain Marvel made sure that the Avengers were named after Captain Marvel, and the next thing you know, they'll break the fourth wall and be like, we're living in the Marvel age right now because of Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel and all the Marvels.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Incrediboy on The Incredibles. Go home, buddy. You know, that's what.
Are they just gonna sit back and talk shit about a character for the next 10 minutes? Like, I just can't. I just can't with these people. Like, for real, it's at the point where it's just like, no wonder they're clownfish, because this shit, they are being a fucking clown. And I just can't with these motherfuckers. Anyway, guys. Yeah. There are always going to be people who don't like a change. There are always going to be people who fucking don't like how new characters are introduced. Like, what gets me is, though, that these motherfuckers don't know Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics has always been about diversity, always been about a change in the way people see them. Yes, they may have started off shitty, like read the old Fantastic Four comics, and you tell me that Marvel doesn't change with the times or change ahead of the times to actually change pop culture. You tell me that. They portray that they know so much about comics and lore and all this other good shit, but when it comes down to it, they just want to stay comfortable in the shell that they fucking are in and want to believe that the rest of the world is. The rest of the world isn't like that. But anyway, let's take a little break and we'll be right back.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, you know. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as